Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. My wife, the sex worker. My ex and I met in college. She was the most beautiful girl I had ever seen. She always had a crowd of guys following her around. I had some classes with her over the 4 years, but I never pursued her because, well, all the other guys. One day after class, she asked if I would study with her, and the rest is history. So we married. Starting our careers in the same industry, different companies. A male-dominated industry. I found immediate success while she struggled. She changed jobs in the first year. She continued to struggle. In the third year she became pregnant with our first son. She worked through the pregnancy. A few weeks after giving birth, in a routine physical, her doctor asked to do a biopsy of her cervix. The results came back as precancerous cells were found. The drive advised if we wanted more children to do it as quick as possible, as this will progress and a hysterectomy will be needed eventually. So when she was up to it, she became pregnant again. She gave birth again to a boy, within a year of each other. Afterward more tests were done and different ARS advised to do the procedure now, as we should not wait. With 2 babies, still infants, she had her procedure done. She was heartbroken that she was done having children, as we had wanted a large family. She poured herself into being a great mother, and she was is. She became a arm. She took care of everything at home. Meanwhile, my career was moving along. I was offered a position with another company with a large salary bump. Life is good. When the boys went off to school, she volunteered at school and was a fixture there. I should mention that we had close friends we went to school with. A and B. We saw each other often. They started their family about the time we did. They have 1 son. The families went on vacations together, dinner, outings. We were best of friends. After the son was born, A, the mother, went back to work and is very successful. B had a good job also until about 2001, where his job was eliminated. He struggled to find work in his field, as the economy back then really affected his field. So the decision was he would be assad while looking for work where we lived, as they did not want to move. The ex and B did things together with kids. When the kids were all in school, they still hung out. You can now guess they had an affair. This story, I know, is long but not over. After about a year of this hot sex in the B asked ex if she and I had ever talked about a threesome. It was all fantasy talk with us, as we were still having a great, if not slowing down, sexual relationship. B had a friend he wanted to bring into the bedroom with them. The ex agreed. The day came and this guy C came over to B's house. He took his suit off as ex and B got warmed up. So they had their threesome. Afterward the guy told them that he usually had to pay for sex, so he left a couple $100 bills and asked ex if he could have a 1-1 with ex. She told him she needed to think about that and B would get back to him. Eventually C recommended someone else and a business was born. Eventually, B was re-employed and had to leave ex on her own. She used a different cell phone. She rented out a storage unit and made it her closet/office. She used the money to buy outfits her clientele requested. She even bought a car. She did not want her minivan spotted at a hotel. The guys had to pay for a room at a nice hotel. She kept the car at the storage unit. Everything was in cash. She never brought the money into our lives that I know of. Though we would send the kids to different day camps during summer. She claimed she tightened up our budget to pay for it. She only worked during school hours. She always picked the boys up at school. On a few rare occasions B would pick them up and keep them until she got home. Our home life never suffered. I admit I was working a ton and moving up the ladder. The weekends were our family time. Sex was generally on the weekends. I thought because of my work life this worked best. Most nights we would cuddle on the couch watching TV. Almost done. 2016 comes along, we have 1 son in college, the other a senior in HS. I get a call from B. X is in the hospital. He was vague but said she is hurt bad. I rush to the hospital. My wife is hooked to a bunch of machines. They have already cleaned her up and taken her for X-rays. She has a broken jaw, broken nose, fractured orbital bone, possible concussion. She will make it but will be a long road ahead. A police officer was finishing up and left. I of course want to know what happened. She was crying, talking gibberish through her sobs and pain meds. A nurse said I should let her rest. They were moving her to a room soon. She handed me a bag with her clothes. I looked in and asked if these were hers because she never wears heels and the dress was unfamiliar. The nurse said this is what they brought from the hotel room. So they pushed me out of the room. I called my sons to let them know. Later that night, when the fog of the drugs were wearing off, I got some of the story. She drifted off again. I had my youngest son sit in with her and I called B. Why did he call me? How did he know before me? What's going on? So B came clean about what my wife was up to, leaving out the affair and his involvement. I was devastated. We eventually get her home after surgery on her jaw. The nose would wait. She convalesced at home. As she got stronger, I got the whole story. I called A and told of the affair and B as a pimp. She threw B out. As she got on her feet, I told her we were done. I asked her to move out. She moved in with B. I got the divorce rolling. I am sitting here 5 years divorced. I still love her. It is as if she had died. The grief is unbearable. My boys know what she did. I have not spoken to her since she left. Wow, B should get arrested for being a pimp to your wife. I don't care. Glad you moved on. I am trying. I was hoping getting this post would be cathartic. I need to get on with life. I have made an appointment with a therapist. Glad to hear about that. Hopefully you'll be nice and healed up in no time. Loser, cheat, gain a life. Dude, you are still showing anger. Get icy. Let it go. I hope you can. Man, I don't blame you for getting stuck with this. I read this 2 days ago and along the day I kept finding myself mulling over this. How can someone do something like this? What was her motivation? What did she think when she was with you? I can't really wrap my head around it. For you it must be like that at the nth degree. I hope therapy works for you. I know that I wouldn't be able to get over something like this on my own. I think that you were on point at cutting all contact at the time, to not let yourself get wrapped up when you were most vulnerable. Have you considered reaching out now to get some closure? Or you think it would just be opening up again the wound? I suppose I will have contact again, as my sons start their own families. I am contemplating moving far away and just starting over. Yeah, was thinking about that. She will be there for their weddings, and grandsons' birthdays and so on. I know I can't run away. I need to be in my sons' lives. I still live in the same house with 20+ years of memories. Maybe a move across town. I will discuss all this when therapy starts. I might be blessed because I want to know how someone can do something like that, but it might be better to have the confrontation before an event like a son's wedding, where a conflict might hurt one of them. Whatever you end up doing, I wish you and your sons the best. You can rebuild your life, don't waste more time. Thank you. There will be no confrontation in the near future. Neither son has a steady GF and I will be starting counseling soon. I mean no offense, but whether or not you care if he's arrested is irrelevant. He committed a social crime, making money off a woman on her back, while not even offering the protection that theoretically comes with that, and deserves punishment for what he did. He's a horrid human. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I can't imagine the mental state she must have been in to do such a thing. So the guy is horrid, but you're finding excuses for the wife? Nah. They are both horrid people. No excuses. It sucks what happened to her toward the end, but that doesn't undo all of the shit she did prior to that. If B were to get assaulted too, that would suck as well, but it wouldn't undo all of the shitty things he did. Both are shit people. People get arrested for being pimps? Yeah, it's a form of prostitution, sometimes even sex trafficking. It's a misdemeanor. I don't know why B had to choose your wife, that's just selfish and illegal. He's literally made her into a damaged good. As a matter of fact, since he didn't offer protection from getting raped and beat, he could be an accomplice to assault since he knew about it and didn't do anything. B is scum, he ruined your poor ex. She made the choice, dude. Actively. I know that. It's sad that everyone that she was close with won't look at her the same way anymore. Probably can't go to family gatherings. It's not sad, she earned it. Well, judging by your Reddit name, I'm suppose you're the karma type of person that I understand. Well, it has to be sad that she lost everything. No, she gave up everything when she willingly made the choices she did. Nobody forced her and she knew the risks. What happened to her wasn't karma but simple, expected consequences for her actions. Yes, karma, the last sentence that you described. She made a choice behind her husband back and it came back to bite her in the ass. Is she still living with B? Are your sons in good terms with her? Is she still a prostitute? I have no idea what she is doing. The boys do see her but they know never to talk about her to me. They're better than me then. If I found out my mom was doing this, my relationship with her would be over. Wow. Why do the kids continue to see her? What do they think of her? She is their mother. She never let her job get in the way of that. I have no idea what they think of her. We do not talk about her. I don't understand how cheating on their dad could not get in the way of that. Hopefully they are not negatively affected. I know that I would never talk to my mother again after all that. I have 2 great sons that have turned into great men. I would never speak to her again either. I mean, they had to see the damage done to their dad. Then not to give a shit about him. Oh, let not forget she move in with the pimp. Hey, were of to see mom and the pimp. Yeah, I don't get it. See, now this is where I would want full disclosure. When the 2 sons get married, I would want full disclosure. Because they have no issue with cheating, they have no issue of prostitution, and if that not enough, they're over there shooting the breeze with mommy's pimp. Then just think there will be grandkids. So you have done nothing wrong. The other guy's wife has done nothing wrong, everyone else is a POS. You don't know anything about the kids' relationship with their mother. First of all, it has nothing to do with them. What if she was a perfect mother in every other way? What if they actually love their mother? Yeah, I know just what I read. Their mother got caught whoring after her pimp called the family to the hospital. The boys were young adults, and if they had vision and hearing, then they know damn well what's been going on. They also saw their dad go sink into a major trauma, depression, and more than likely PTSD. Their mother was a whore, period. She was not a good mother. If she was a good mother, she would not be a whore, period. Oh, you said it has nothing to do with them. That is the most ignorant comment on this thread. It most certainly does. I get sick of people saying it has nothing to do with the kids. This was a family that included 1 mom, 1 dad, 2 sons. Now while she was whoring, she was dropping the kids off with Uncle Pimp or God knows who else. You know, you/lemme get a dab, just your handle speak volumes. Let/me/get/a/dab. You need to go back over to r/adultery or r/the other woman. That is where you belong. If you read this sub enough, you will notice when teenager children hear about the cheating, they side with the betrayed spouse, not with the cheater. Not in all cases. Small children are different. The boys 18 and 19 when this went down. I stand by my statement. Op did nothing wrong, the pimp's wife did nothing wrong. The others, hooker, momo, Uncle Pimp, and the adult young men are all a big pile of SXXT. Have a nice day. Wow, WTF. Did you have to pay her alimony, and how was the divorce process? I did editing on the post because of length. I told her she only gets her clothes, or in the divorce I tell the court and her family why we are divorcing. You should tell her family anyways after the divorce is done. If you can, of course. I have had almost 5 years to tell them. I mean, no disrespect to them. I have no idea what she told them. The divorce was irreconcilable differences. Oh yeah, it's been 5 years. I definitely would have told them, mostly because if I were them I would want to know. What, so she got to save face when in front of her family? I have no idea what she told them. Her family was blindsided by the divorce. I never told them why. Please don't listen to these people telling you to tell her family. That is for her to tell or not. It is not your place. Go for your counseling and work hard to heal. You still love her, and to think of hurting her and her family will not make your life any better. You need to work on you. I wish you all the best and hope you can come through healed and able to move on. Muted artichoke is an example of a rug sweeper. The problem is that you can never find a rug big enough to hide all the ugly things your STBXW has done. Op should be telling everyone, since this is the primary reason for the divorce. Op, you don't tell her family or mutual friends with any form of malice or punishments. You tell them as if you're a news reporter, from an objective perspective. It's up to them to then form an opinion of her actions and decisions. Also, expecting her to do it is a little like waiting for the earth to turn itself inside out. Like 10 billion to 1 against. Plus whatever she tells them is going to be slanted in her favor. Things like he wasn't attentive to my needs and so on. Whether you think she wouldn't do that or she would, the most likely outcome is that she does and your reputation gets dragged in her dirt. Telling family and friends is you getting ahead of any lies she will tell that will make you out to be the bad guy, but it's also you exercising your right to the truth. Why does anyone need to know why they got divorced? I consider that personal. The divorce was 5 years ago. Telling her family now would be purely for revenge purposes and not for any explanatory reasons. Op's sons have a relationship with her, and hurting her for revenge would possibly hurt their relationship with their father. Also, no one outside the immediate family and the lawyers need to know the intimate details of the reasons for the divorce. There's no revenge in stating the truth to people who have a connection to Op and his ex-W. They are entitled to know and understand the reasons all this happened. That way they can make decisions based on facts as to how they are going to deal with the ex-W. You want to make this sound like more than it is. You're trying to say that Op is exercising some malicious revenge plot when it sounds like he still has feelings for her. She needs help. She's still with her pimp. And there is a good chance that the family is already concerned. With full details they can start to formulate plans to ensure that her future does not include being a forced sex worker. Without Op's information they will have to piece together how this all happened, and that could take time she doesn't have. One of her Johns has already put her in the hospital. How long do you think it will be before the next one does that kind of damage or worse? So no, this isn't about Op taking revenge, it's about saving XW's life. Right. Unless the former in-laws go accusing him of bad behavior, he should let it be. Friends and shared acquaintances though, I would tell. I've been there before. My ex cheated on me, and when we split I thought I'd just leave it be, but instead what happened is she lied about things to get people on her side, and by that point there was nothing I could do. I was trash in their eyes, after the things she'd accused me of. Wow, that's a great tactic. So this went on from around 2002 until 2016, holy crap. How was your sex life together during her escort job, and do you know how many men she was having sex with on a weekly basis? Karma is a bitch. How did she end up in the hospital? Was she beat up by a client? Sorry, that was something I edited out because of length. Did not realize I did it. From what she told me, one of her regulars never confirmed their appointment, so she did not show. Somehow they confirmed in text and then day of sent room number and hotel. When she got to the next time, they argued about the mix-up. He did text her the room number, but she had moved on to someone else. He grabbed her, then started to hit her, then raped her. She still had her clothes on. She did not press charges. Man, I read this over and over again. Felt for you, yes, therapy for you. Worst feeling ever for someone you hate and love at the same time. Assume you never really got round why she threw it all away. Money, thrills, attention, perhaps threat from B, etc. Assume the likely on from her, I don't know. Guess she your first a common trait, either good or bad, is an indefinitely memory that's never going away. Virtual hug for you, be strong. I'd kiff is right to said this trauma will either break or strengthen you up. Either way, please don't live with it to a point affecting your future well-being, okay? And if happen to bump into her family side, just tell them what happened. Felt the more you keep it inside, the more harm it does to you. Yes, she broke you, but you ain't down and out. May the Lord be with you to have the willpower to free yourself of her sins. Folded hands, amen. Take care. I have no words. I'm so sorry, Op. I hope you are able to move on with your life. Hugs from an internet stranger. Thanks. So who beat her up and why? It was one of her clients. She had a system where they would request on a certain day and time, she would okay, they then give a room number to a nice hotel. The guy was a regular for a certain day and time but never sent a request, so she took a different client. He sent her the hotel and room number, she ignored it. The next week he did everything right. She showed up, he was mad, they argued, he hit her several times then raped her. How's A doing? Do you still talk with her? We have had little contact over the 5 years. I feel bad I haven't contacted her. Are the boys indifferent towards their mother? Seems like she left and had no problem doing so. Moves in with a line bucket boy. So is he still the pimp and she has stayed being the sex worker? The boys still see her. They are out on their own now, I have no idea how much contact. What happened to her? Why did she chose the wrong path? Ever read or hear people say, I have no idea who this person is. It's not who I married. Mine went the evil devil way. Her childhood was so screwed up. Good to hear the boys/sons didn't get caught up in the mess. I started to question what happened, then said no. I was not going there. Wow, this story. Absolutely heartbreaking. I am so sorry this happened to you. The whole thing is so bizarre, it sounds like a Lifetime movie. I assume one of her Johns beat her up? Incredible that she did this for 10 or more years without incident, without you finding out, without catching something, and without anyone else figuring it out and telling you. B's wife, too, totally in the dark. Unbelievable. This is me assuming your story is true, and this is not the plot of a Lifetime movie I've never seen. What do your sons think of all this? Do they have a relationship with their mother now? X has, a small clientele. Each had to be recommended by another client. The thought being if you recommend someone they better be nice or you are out. Once B went back to work in a real job, she was on her own. My sons still see her. The amount I have no idea. You still love her, neutral face. The old her. Where is all the money? She said she only spent money on the business. She had the storage unit, a car, clothes and a few minor expenses. This is a cash business. I assume she has a nice stack of $100 bills somewhere. So what happened with the money she was making? You said she didn't bring it back to the family household, except maybe some extracurricular activities for the kids. I understand she had expenses, but if she spent all her work money on expenses, it doesn't make any sense outside that the whole point was her cheating, and the money was to fund her getting away with it. Also, did B find her dates? She was paid in cash. She has the cash accumulated somewhere. My guess is in the 6 digits. B quit helping her when he got a legit job again. I am not sure if they continued with each other. All those years, did you get the feeling she was into you, or going through the motions for the kids? Did she fight the divorce at all or seemed relieved? She has never tried to communicate with you since the breakup. I had no idea. We had a normal life. I worked a lot. On the weekends it was family time and was when we had sex. During the week I usually had a late dinner which she prepared. Then we would cuddle up and watch a movie. Sometimes we had sex during the week. I did not give her a choice in the divorce. She got her clothes. I told her I would include her business in the court records and would tell her family. After the divorce there has been no contact. Good for you on the way you handled it. I think most people would have gone back and forth with her. Maybe what made it easier to be so decisive was that her actions were so over the top. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.